Hello, guys, and welcome to the Crypto County, the most realistic Bitcoin technical analysis channel on YouTube. All right. Welcome. If you're new here, please kindly subscribe to the channel, tick the bell icon, and select all. So, guys, you all know how I've been looking at all this action, all this price action right here, to be a fractal of what happened here. Okay, so because we talked about the harmonic pattern that led to a dump, we got that harmonic pattern right here, which led to this dump, and then after the dump, we then got a head and shoulder, which you can see clearly there by the neckline. All right, so we talked about all this in the previous video. In case you didn't check that out, please do so. The link is going to be in the card above. All right, check that out first, then come back and watch this video. It's all going to make sense to you. All right, now that being said, Bitcoin is doing exactly what we expect it to do. Okay, so in the previous video, let's move on to the 4 hour time frame. All right, first of all, I gave you guys this kind of, should I say, my trajectory, all right, my pathway, like how I think Bitcoin is going to move, how I think the price is going to behave in the next couple of weeks and months to come. All right, so I'm just going to overlay what I said in the previous video in case you didn't check that out, so you can see the similarities to what's currently happening right now. So just take out a few minutes of your time to check out this picture right here. Okay, so now that you've seen that, now let's move on to the current charts, all right, the live charts. This currently right here is what is going on currently with Bitcoin, all right? So I actually gave this to be my neckline, right? I gave this whole diagonal line right here to be my neckline. Well, it didn't work out like that because Bitcoin doesn't always do what you guys think it's going to do. But hey, don't forget, I gave you guys this horizontal support around 44,553 right there. And guys, guess what? Look where we found supports. All right, this is around the 44,500 region. Okay, that's where we found the supports. All right, so I gave diagonal supports and the horizontal supports. Well, this diagonal supports actually just ended up being resistance or support resistance, all right, resistance, and that was it. But right now we've established what I perceive to be a precise neckline. All right, let me make this clearer. What I perceive to be a precise neckline. Okay, so guys, right now it is no surprise to me that we have formed a well-defined neckline, which is this. All right, this right here is our neckline right now. Okay, and if at any point in time Bitcoin breaks this neckline of this head and shoulder, we are going to get a massive dump, guys, and this would trigger either a wave 3 or a wave C. All right, so now we can see this as a 0, an origin, a wave 1, a wave 2. Then this dump might trigger the wave 3. All right, or this dump would either give us a 3-wave move to the downside. Now we would prefer it to be a 3-wave move to the downside, because moving into C would then mean that this whole move right here was an impulse move. All right, so if this is a 3-wave move to the downside, it would simply mean that this is a correction. All right, and then we're probably getting a second wave to the upside. Now let's look at potential price targets. Where are we heading to next? Where is the price going to head to next? Well, personally, I see this whole move right now to the upside as a retracement. Okay, I don't think we're just going to from here and shoot up to new higher highs. I think that is very unlikely. Okay, I think that is very unlikely because it doesn't work like that. Okay, something that I've noticed over the years is that the price doesn't just come down like this in one wave. Okay, we are likely to have a follow-up wave. Okay, this is the only way that I'm going to say, okay, maybe the correction is over. A three-wave move to the downside. There is no correction, at least based on Elliott wave theory, that goes like a one-wave move and then we start heading higher. It doesn't work like that in any markets at all. So we always have follow through. The price always moves in correction. In a correction, it always moves down in a three-wave move. So I see this as just a one-wave move to the upside, to the downside rather, or an A, then we're going for a B, then we're coming down for a C. So it is better that this is an A, then we're going for a B, then coming down for a C. If this is actually a 1 and we're going for a 2, then we have 3 more waves to the downside. Okay, so now let's look at price targets. First of all, I took my Fibonacci and drew from the bottom right there. You can see right there, which is around here. This is the bottom to the top, and you can see that we got a very nice bounce at the 0.382. All right, you can see we got a very nice bounce at the 0.382 region. So which makes me even skeptical to say that this is probably just a retracement, because it's very unlikely that we get the final move to the 0.382. We should see more follow through to at least 0.618. So this is where I'm looking out for. But currently, we all know that I'm looking at this as a head and shoulder, this whole thing as a head and shoulder. And if it gets triggered by this neckline, if we get a dump that brings us to this neckline again and it gets triggered, we're going to see a very, very sharp sell-off. So I'm just trying to bring this to your radar. I want you guys to be well informed, to be prepared. I don't want any of my subscribers to be losing money currently in this market, because this is not the right market to be overly bullish. All right. When it's time for the sellers, when it's time for the bears to take over, I mean, they're going to take over and they're going to come really, really hard. All right. So I know that definitely people are waiting to sell around this region, and we're going to take a deep look into that. But first of all, I want to just talk about this other Fibonacci extension, trend-based Fibonacci extension that I plotted right here. So you can take, I took the Fibonacci trend-based Fibonacci extension, and from this high to the bottom right here to the next high that we just made, the current high we just made. All right. So now this whole thing, this whole move right here, guys, might just be an ABC move. All right, it might just be a correction. And if you're looking at it as an ABC, then our target should be around the 16,000 range. I don't think this is very likely. I don't think this is going to happen, because that would take Bitcoin below its previous all-time high. All right, and historically speaking, I mean, it's not like history is always going to repeat itself, but historically speaking, until proven otherwise, it has not happened before. So I don't think Bitcoin should retrace to the 16,000 region. That being said, I have an alternate target, which I think is more likely to happen. All right. And now that would take us to this extension right here, the 1.272. So what I did was, I took the retracement tool from this bottom right there, this wick right there, to the top. All right. Now I'm not looking for the normal retracement levels. I'm looking for the extensions in this retracement, Fibonacci retracement. So the more likely retracement level, extension level for me is the 1.272. This is where I'm looking for the price to reverse or to see a sharp reversal from, because number one, it's above the previous all-time high, which is around 19K something to 20K. All right. And it's within this other block right here. Look at this other block, like very, very nice. That falls right at this region. So this is why this is a very interesting part for me. I mean, if the price ever gets to this point again, I'm going to sell everything and start buying from here. And even if it goes down to 16,000, I don't care. I'm just going to keep accumulating because I mean, in the long run, it's going to be it's going to prove to be very beneficial for me because the price, you can see Bitcoin, I mean, over 100K very soon. All right, not saying it's going to happen this year, but in the next couple of years, we are definitely going to see Bitcoin over 100K. I don't think we're going into a very deep bear market. I think all this right here is just a correction that will lead us into our wave four. All right, our primary wave four. So that's just what all this is all about. This is just a bigger retracement, all right, a bigger time frame retracement, not like we're in a bear market or anything. So that being said, now let's look at this head and shoulder right here to see my logic behind the head and shoulder. Okay, let's just zoom in. So I mean, I gave you guys this structure a very long time ago. Like, it's been weeks already since we talked about a potential head and shoulder forming in the Bitcoin chart. And right now it's coming to reality. Okay. So personally, potential place of resistance would be, so let's take the Fibonacci from the top right there to the bottom, which is this week right there. All right, this week right here. So you can see that we almost hit the 0.5, and the 0.5 actually falls in between this box, this red box of resistance and support. All right, but I don't think this is where we're going to get rejected because nothing else is pointing to this being our targets. All right, so which leaves me with three other targets. All right, so that would be the 0.618 for this retracement. All right, that would be only the 0.618 left for this retracement, and I already put it here on the chart, so I'm just going to delete this one. All right, so we have the 0.618 right here, and now another target that I'm looking for is, so let's consider this to be like an extended flat or something like that. All right, a correction, and this might even be seen to be a W or probably a harmonic pattern, but I'm not really going into the measurements and all that. I'm just looking for potential reversal points. All right, so now I'm going to use my Fibonacci tool, and I'm taking it from this week right there to the bottom. Okay, so the two potential targets for reversals, normally when you use the extension, the Fibonacci retracement tool to find extension levels, would be the 1.272, which is right there, and I marked it out right here, and the 1.618. I marked it out right here also. So let me just remove that and let's talk about these levels. Okay, so for me, the most likely to happen would be the 0.618 or just a little bit above the 0.618, which is going to take us around 49,300. Okay, why is this my preferred level? We always talk about confluence when we're looking for targets for where we want to short or where we want to take profits. Doesn't matter, we always look for confluence. Okay, and this 0.618 is in confluence with the targets of this as a W pattern. So if you see this as a W pattern, the targets normally for this W pattern would be the would be around 0.618, which is around 49,300. How did I get this target? So I took this, let me just leave that there for now. I took the arrow tool. All right, so how I love doing it to get the measurement, I love taking like the median. I don't like taking the largest point because you need to be conservative. All right, you don't want to be overly bullish and say the target is going to move higher. So let's say, for instance, if I take the target to be from this week right here to, oh, sorry, so let's say I take the target to be from this week right here to the neckline, all right, of the W. I don't know if that's called a neckline. And you put it right there, you can see that it gives us a target around the middle of the rejection zone, which is quite okay. I mean, you can see it's lining up perfectly with this week right there. But I love to be a little bit conservative with my target. So I like taking the median of the two bottoms. So instead of me taking it from here, I like taking it from the middle, all right? The middle of the W pattern. So that will be like from there to the neckline, and then take the measured move to the potential breakout point, all right, which was the neckline right there. And that will give us the target. So this is how I came up with my targets, guys. And this is where I'm looking to take all profits from my longs. I mean, I took partial profits already, but and I'm not looking to add to my longs because, to be frank, we can just start rolling over right now. We can just start rolling over like this and fulfill this whole thing to be an actual head and shoulder. There's nothing saying that the bulls should be able to push this price up to this region. Okay, that's something to keep in mind. We can start rolling over right now and we get a dump and we confirm this as a head and shoulder, and then it will trigger people to start shorting the market. But right now, I think that is very unlikely. I mean, nothing is impossible in crypto. Nothing is impossible when it comes to Bitcoin and the rest. But I don't see us being rejected here because I don't see this as a strong resistance and support box. Rather, this is a very strong resistance and support box for me. All right, because we have resistance, 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 support, 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 resistance, resistance, resistance. I mean, like, a confluence of resistance and support in this area, in this region, is more compared to what we see right here. So I think there are lots of sellers that are going to be waiting around this region. Okay, so that will be around the 49,100 to probably the 49,800 ish. All right, this is where I'll be looking for reversal candles, guys. Reversal candles. So let's say a bearish engulfing candle, or maybe a shape, a smaller time frame shape, like a shape maybe in the 5 minute time frame. All right, I don't normally trade the 5 minute time frame, but when we start getting closer to reversal zones, I love to look at the 5 minute, the smaller time frame, like the 5 minute time frame, so I can see if there will be a potential pattern that will signal a reversal, and that would trigger a sharp sell-off. So that's what I'm looking out for. We don't need to come down like this, like you saw before. We can just start rolling down right now. So why do I think we are probably going to be done with this whole head and shoulder correction, and we start our wave 3 around, or the wave C around the 20th of September. So on or before the 20th of September, we should start seeing the sell-off. This is what I'm anticipating. All right, it's not a given. So how did I come up with this? So I love using trend angles to measure certain things. So you can see that from this neckline right here to this top, the angle was you can see that 75 degrees. All right, so let me just get this one off so we can see what we're talking about. So you can see that the angle was 75 degrees. However, when we started getting this dump, I didn't expect this to be very sharp like this. So from there to here would be 90, would be 85 degree, right? 89 degree. So that was very, very sharp, guys. So I think this whole consolidation was just to make up for this angle right here. So based on this angle, I was looking for the other dump that will lead us to this neckline to be around 75 degrees. Okay, so now I'm looking for 75 degrees. You can see right there 15 degrees. You can see the value right there. So if you take it down, we're looking for 75 degrees, 75, 75, 75, 75. So right here, right there will be at 75 degrees. So for me, everything from here was just a consolidation to make up for the angle of this dump. All right, so right now I think we this is where we started. This is where we should consider to be the real neckline, not all these wicks right here. So this would be our neckline. This would be our neckline because it falls in line with the angle of this one also, and this would be our neckline. All right, so those two should be considered a neckline, and if we break here, we should get a quite massive dump. But now, another thing I love to do is I love equality. All right, so from here to this neckline, I took a measurement and take this measurement from this other neckline, all right, to where you should expect the breakout, the breakdown to occur. So based on equality, based on this, right? So I expect us to be closer to this neckline at around the 25th of September. So towards the end of this month, guys, we might still be in this correction. Towards the end of this month, we might still be on the brink of breaking this neckline. So you all know, to get the measured move, you take your arrow tool or any tool you want, and you know that I love equality. Like I said, I love equality. I love being conservative. I'm not just going to take a measurement from there to the neckline. It's going to be too much for me. So I love equality, and I take the median of the head. All right, so that would be the head, and here to the potential breakout point. From there to the neckline, rather. So we take it to the potential breakout point. All right. So this would be the target of the head and shoulder, guys, around 36,785. Now this is the target. It doesn't mean we have to hit the target. It's just a target. Sometimes we might not even get to that point, and sometimes we might just bust through that point like it's nothing. All right. So that's where I'm looking for the target of this potential head and shoulder that is forming right now. And then but frankly, I don't see that to be a very strong support. All right, so I don't think the move is going to end there. If we're going to meet the target of this head and shoulder, that means we're going to break through the 0.618. Now if we do that, it's only very normal for us to head to the next Fibonacci retracement level. All right, so based on this trend based Fibonacci extension that I drew here, we can see that 0.5 is lining perfectly with our resistance line, which is at 34,800. All right, and this line is, it's a very good resistance and support line. You can see resistance, support, support, resistance, 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 support, 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 resistance, 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 resistance. Guys, this is my preferred target for this whole correction. If we are going to just correct and then kick off again, this would be where I'll be looking to put in a long trade. But however, that being said, doesn't mean that if we hold this support that we are just going to start kicking off. We might just hold this support, then do something like this, and then roll over again. All right, then yeah. So guys, this is something to keep in mind. If you're a leverage trader, please use the link in the description. If you want to start trading on leverage, use the link in the description, because only leverage traders are going to be able to benefit from this upcoming volatility that we are about to expect in the market. It's good if you are a spot trader. You can just sell off and save some money rather than hodling till we get to this point. All right, it doesn't make any sense to me. Even if you want to jump back in, it's a very good profit for you to take. We're right now currently at 47,000. If this thing dumps to at least 37,000. That's a $10 move for Bitcoin, and that's a whole lot of money that you can save. All right. So, I mean, this is all for spot traders and leverage traders. But only leverage traders can make money from this dump that is about to happen right now. And you best assured that I'm going to take this trade that I'm showing you guys right now. I mean, I don't come here to just talk about trades that I'm not sure of. If I don't know what's going on in the charts, I do not talk about it. I do not want to. I don't want to be creating content just to create content. All right, I want people to get value from what I put out. All right, and right now I'm seeing this to be a potential head and shoulder, and I want to be the first to sound the alarm to my subscribers because I value you guys a lot, and I thank you guys for the support. And if this is going to play out, I want you guys to be the first to make money from this. It is not financial advice, but I just have to put it out there for you to see. Okay, guys, thank you guys for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, share this video with your loved ones, and I'll see you guys in the next video. All right, peace.